What's up, hobby friends? January actually wasn't as heavy of a painting month as it was normally for me. I spent a lot of my time working on just a bunch of different hobby projects. The main focus of this month for me was getting some terrain built for both 40k and Age of Sigmar, and then getting my Junkforce overlords basically table ready. When it comes to the terrain, because most of all of our hobby shops are closed, we're only really getting in some of our games periodically, once every couple of weeks within our socially distanced circles, and none of us really have tables, especially in the Toronto area. So I wanted to get a full set or enough of a set of terrain to be able to play both 40k and Age of Sigmar, because all my armies are desert themed. Between my Necrons, my Junkforce, my Bone Reapers, and soon to be my Deathwatch, I decided to theme my board towards all the basing that I've done for those armies. For 40k, it's going to be a very industrial set, a lot of factory pieces and a lot of either Imperial ruins, like an abandoned Martian outpost, or I'm going to be working on some Necron scatter terrain in the future as well. I also built a lot of these simple desert rock formations and mesas that can be used interchangeably between both systems. I wanted the terrain to be flexible enough that I could reuse some of the pieces for both the 40k and AOS game systems. Because Age of Sigmar doesn't have a huge terrain requirement, and because of the changes to the realm rules simplifying a lot of the terrain pieces, I can get away with some simple pieces like these rock formations to fill up my terrain. My Junkforce is also pretty much table ready. There's a few last minute details I have to work on for my gun haulers, and some of my halfling champions still require some sculpting work, but not too much. I wasn't looking, or I wasn't expecting to get painting done on this army, but I guess the inspiration struck near the end of the month, and I was able to actually finish 15 of my Enden Riggers as well as my 10 Arcanauts. Getting the robot infantry done so quickly means that I've gotten actually a huge chunk of the army knocked out of the park already. While I don't think I'll be able to get the army done by the end of February, I am hoping to finish off the 3 halfling champions, 3 halfling heroes, and then at least get started on the gun haulers. February is a short month, and I have a couple of other projects and commissions I need to work on, so I don't know how much time I'll be able to dedicate to my Junkforce, but if I have free time, I'm probably going to be working on them or on my terrain to get some of those rock formations painted. One of the other projects that I've been working on about halfway through the month of January is a House Tyrannus commission, a Knights Army commission. I don't normally do commission work, especially for armies. I find that the high model count and the amount of work it takes to get an army table ready just isn't worth it for me, and I either charge too little or too much, which doesn't work for either valuing my time or for the client's time. But a project like the Knights, they're small enough that the army isn't actually a grind to get through, and I can value and price them appropriately without the project being out of a client's budget. So I finished up the Knight Atropos for this commission. I have a couple of other Knights lined up, one for February, and then once the client sends over more, we'll probably have a few more in March. So I'll be working on that throughout the next few weeks and months, in between, I guess, both my projects and as the client's timeline and budget provides. One of the long-term projects I'm also planning for this year is a Deathwatch army. They're actually one of the few Space Marine chapters I've never actually played, and I feel like it's both a great opportunity as a modeler, because I can basically custom tailor each Marine to an individual unique chapter, and also from the tabletop perspective. They've got a very interesting, very unique playstyle. It's not so much about overpower as it is about taking advantage of all these different tools and stratagems to play a much more cerebral game. And I feel like it'll be a very nice change of pace to balance out games with my Necrons. I don't like having only one army for any one given game system, because it does get boring playing the same thing over and over again. And I want to be able to balance Necrons, which is my main army, with something a little more interesting and fun that isn't a huge army project. And I feel like Deathwatch fit the bill. I intend for them to be a slow grow project. I'm probably going to build the core of the army, my 2,000 points, to be table ready within the next month or two, once I get the new Eradicators and the new Blade Guard kits, which are coming out from Games Workshop soon. But I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time sculpting and customizing each Marine for a unique chapter. So I don't think I will be putting paint on them or finishing the army anytime soon. Probably not even this year. So what are my hobby goals for this month? I have one of the House Tyrannus Knights to paint for my client, and I'm going to try and get my Deathwatch Chaplain painted as well, just to figure out the black, and because he's right now in 7 or 8 different pieces, and I really don't feel like building more of the army until I have him flushed out. I don't want too many models in sub-assemblies, so that it makes it hard to play the game with the army. So I want to get him done. I think it'll be a fun project. I haven't played in a Space Marine in 5 or 6 months, so I think it'll be a nice change of pace. I want to finish my Junkforce heroes. So I've got 3 Endrin Rigger champions. I've got the Endrin Master, I've got the Navigator, and I've got the Chemist. So I'll try and get the 6 of those done by the end of the month. And I'm also going to try and put some paint in my terrain. I think I want to focus on the rock formations because they are interchangeable between both AOS and 40k. And then if I have time to work on more of the industrial 40k pieces, I'll try and fit those in. In terms of the videos I have planned, I want to do a video on Photoshop layers. Once I cover how to work with layers, I think we can then take all the information, all the knowledge that we've gathered so far, and finally put it to use in a practical manner, doing color schemes and photo editing, stuff like that. I'm going to do a video on how to make or how to sculpt a Junkforce robot or a couple of robots. I've gotten a lot of questions and a lot of requests to show how or what my process is for making a robot. So I'll be putting one of those together. And then I'm going to do a video on painting the aforementioned desert rock formations. I have an idea in my mind how to get them out simply and quickly and very effective on the tabletop. I hope it works out. So I'm hoping to share that with you by the end of the month. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome weekly content. And you can follow my Instagram at SirJohnTheHo for daily updates on my hobby projects. Until next time, happy hobbying.